That's Mr. John Hancock, the richest man in Boston. And he would make his money the old-fashioned way. He got it from his parents. It was inherited. And I'll tell you, he did well with that money. He's financially a pretty smart guy. And because of his wealth, he was able to help finance the war. Now, a lot of people also consider him the first president of the United States. And this is how this works. Now, we've always been led to believe it's George Washington. Well, he is the first elected. However, before we were the USA, there was a governing body here known as the Continental Congress, and John was president. So on July 4th, when we declared our independence, he's in charge, the first president of the United States. So when you look at the document and all the signatures, his is front and center, and it's the largest. As president, he will sign it first. And there's a rumor that on that morning he's going to walk up to the table, dip the quill in the ink, and say, "I shall sign my name in the largest hand, so the king shall not have to put on his spectacles." But that document is interesting. First of all, you know, we think, oh, July 4th, Independence Day. You know, July 4th has no meaning. Just a date on a piece of paper. Nobody knew when our birthday was going to be. In fact, John Adams always thought it might be July 2nd, but it's simply a date on a piece of paper. That's it. And those signatures, it took weeks for that document to be signed by everyone. Not everybody was in Philadelphia. In fact, that document wouldn't be reach here in Boston for 2 weeks, July 18th. When it was read for the very first time. John was married. His wife's name was Dolly, and poor Dolly Hancock. You see, after he died, well, things didn't go too well for her. See, in those days, there was a law, and the law stated, if a man was married, the wife was considered his property. Quite tragically, today, it is the other way around. She's got her claws in your arm there. Yeah, I know. And she's happy and you're smiling because otherwise, no, it's painful, I understand, sir. How long have you two been together? Well, married for 11 years? 5 years. Like twice if you're not sick. There is a big city, there's lots of tunnels, there's way out. If you're a swimmer, I can get you out to the harbor. Well, what happened those days because of that law? Let's say a man died and did not leave a will, or he didn't sign it. Well, the entire estate went to the government. The wife got nothing. Guess who forgot to put his John Hancock at the bottom of the will? That was sad, but that was life in the 18th century. And I'll tell you, John, because of his riches, he dressed that way. I mean, he just best clothing, really over the top. In fact, it was said that he wore jewels on all of his fingers. When he passed away, well, people less than scrupulous individuals tried to take the rings off. They didn't come off. They said, well, he's not going to need his hands. Stumps Hancock. Yep, they took his hands with the jewels. I have a dear friend of mine who's a tour guide here with me, and he goes as John Hancock. He will not fully commit to the character. Yes, Stumps Hancock. But that's what happened. They literally just took his hands off him and took the rings, and God knows what happened. Pleasant, isn't it? Now, we are going to head up around the corner to a monument that has a little bit of an old wives' tale attached to it. It is said that if you stand in front of it and look from where you're standing on the sidewalk to the top of the monument, that's about as tall as this person would get. Here's a clue. He would have made a great jockey. And quite honestly, he was a great jockey.
Right up here.